Okay, all right. So not you personally, but is there anybody on the pod that has ever bought a skin for Call of Duty?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Welcome back to the EndGame Broadcast, everyone. We got Hacker here, Shellz here, Caveman here, and Billion. And today, we're going to get into a lot of things. Everything from the latest gaming news, June upcoming releases, Summer Games Fest predictions, and apparently, Destiny might be dying again. But let's jump right into it. So I'm your host for the day. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're rocking with the episode, hype the video so we can move on, up the algorithm, like George Jefferson, to the east side, that deluxe apartment in the sky, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, so fellas, how y'all doing today, man? How's everyone doing?
Yo, it's crazy.
We here, man.
Cycle is wild.
We missed last week because of the holiday. I hope everybody had a good time, a good holiday. I definitely did.
Yeah.
Was outside, man, kicking it, chilling with some fam.
Billion was actually touching grass.
But
I decided to touch grass too. Got lost. Had to run back inside.
Yeah, man. I was in the pool. I, had to get my swim on. I can swim.
Yo, that's diabolical. I can swim is absolutely unhinged, bro.
Yeah, man.
Man's just in the pool, doggy paddling.
Hey, man. Gotta get it how you live, man.
Guilty. Definitely cannot. So, hey, I'm a little jealous right now.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, good seeing everyone. I know we missed the last episode, but good seeing everyone. We got a lot to talk about, so let's jump right into it. So, like I said, apparently Destiny 2 is basically entering its final era. I think Bungie has got the final update slated to drop around June 9th or something like that. And we're already hearing rumors of Destiny 3. So I know you, Billion, I know you love Destiny. How are you feeling about Destiny 2's finals how are you feeling about Destiny 2's final update?
Wait a minute. I wouldn't say I love Destiny.
Yeah, that was bait. Definitely bait there, man. So what's your beef with Destiny?
Let's pump the brakes. Destiny, Destiny was cool when it first came out. I had fun playing it. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, when I was playing Destiny, I used to play with Hacker, and I think I ran a raid with Caveman before also. But the game has been out for a long time now. It's been 10 years the game is out. I thought the game died several times already. I'm surprised that they're even doing an update for Destiny. I haven't played it in a long time. I don't really see myself coming back to play Destiny regardless of any updates. So, I mean, if Destiny 3 is coming, maybe I wouldn't mind. Destiny was cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't know if I care for Destiny at the moment.
All right. So who here plays Destiny? Shellz, Caveman, Hacker?
So I'm a D1 vet, and I fell off of Destiny 2 halfway through it.
So basically, no one at the moment. No.
I'll jump on it from time to time because it is still a fun game. It is still very well, everything that they're doing is just good, right? And what is so annoying to me is they are killing this game, and it appears as if they're going to support Marathon. And I don't know about you, but Marathon's just not it for me. Destiny is just a better game, in my opinion. From the company's perspective, Destiny, even if it's not in its greatest state right now, it's still doing way better than Marathon. It has more players. I'm assuming it's making more money because, Destiny is not free. They got $20 skins and people buy them. They're crazy for that one. I'm trying to figure out what it is that they're trying to do. Are they really going to go after Marathon, or is this their way of saying they're going to start Destiny 3 at some point? Because they did mention it at some point in the past. The only way that they're going to be able to do Destiny 3 is that they stopped production on Destiny 2. And, well, we got half of that. So
So,
you never know.
so one of the interesting things about that, and you mentioned that, Caveman, was the fact that they are um, actually attempting to basically just sort of replace Destiny with Marathon somewhat. And I know there's like a lot of rumors, like LZ mentioned, that there's the potential of seeing a Destiny 3, but it seems like, and I know we've sort of talked about this a little bit in previous episodes, but like live service being the core concentration, and it just seems like, studios are just not, or maybe the studios, I think are seeing the writing on the wall, because oftentimes we kind of hear through the media that when studios essentially get shut down, a lot of developers and a lot of people on the creative team might not have necessarily wanted to work on a game that might have failed or something like that. But I think that the folks with the cash and writing the checks are just much more interested in driving life service, and this is one of those other instances where they're not interested in developing good games, and they're much more interested in developing the games that can generate the more cash, right? um, just as a side note, Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take Two, and of course, sort of sitting at the helm of one of the largest, creative entertainment pieces that we've had, known GTA 6, coming out, mentioned something in a recent interview that I thought was sort of interesting. He said specifically, and it's more of a, not necessarily a direct quote, but it was along the lines of, the player base wants quality, and and while it was very expensive, and the question was sort of, the interviewer asked the question based on how much the development costs were. And he didn't say, he was more vague about it, but he basically mentioned, players want quality. They don't want, and the perception of the value that they're getting for the game that they are playing and spending their time and money on. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Other studios don't necessarily have that, and I think that's one thing that Take Two has, that as we see Marathon being prioritized over Destiny, right? And the player base is like, whoa, what's going on, dude? Like, obviously Destiny is a much more quality product here. I thought that was kind of interesting, and a difference in, Take Two being at the helm of one of the largest and most well-known products, entertainment products out there, versus other studios that are, having executives coming out of Bank of America saying things like, "Oh, raise your prices so we can raise our prices too." So,
Yeah, and you said something interesting. I did hear that there's a little bit of a civil war amongst the players of both games. Uh, the people that enjoy Marathon are mad at the people that play Destiny because they feel like they're trying to sabotage with like negative news about the game because they prefer Destiny and they want all the resources to go there. Uh, so there's like a little bit of beef there. I'm not sure how true that is, but it's something I kind of heard.
yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that, and I sort of heard the same thing running through, sort of the social media buzz a bit. And yeah, the exact take is exactly that, right? Where Marathon players are, basically just trying to run through a bad news cycle for of Destiny, saying that it's not a quality game that people didn't enjoy. But I think, with Destiny 2, you concentrated more on the story, right? Because a lot of the expansions, I think, and Caveman, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that there was a lot of like good storytelling that was done through some of the expansions, and what people enjoyed, right? There was a lot of lore.
Yes and no.
No, okay.
So, and I say this because when you look at the individual expansions, you could play them and have no idea what's going on. People were interested in the loot, people were interested in the gear, they were interested in raids, things like that. But if you actually went into the lore of it, you looked through the grimoire cards and you read up on all this stuff, it actually had a very interesting story. I just don't think it was well told. Maybe it was in the second half of Destiny 2. I don't know, because like I said, I haven't been on there that frequently. But I do remember in the early days, they were really horrible at telling the story, but they had a very good story. Um, yeah.
And that's kind of interesting then, because doesn't that, I mean, maybe that's why the executives at Bungie are much more interested in developing
Nah,
Marathon then, right?
no,
You don't think
hell
so
no.
here? Like, I mean, it kind of
Hell
sounds the
no.
same if
No,
you're
no, no, no,
saying
no.
like,
No,
no.
no, no, no. Because you got to remember, people aren't buying that game for the story. They're paying for skins. They're playing the game. They have a community. That story might as well not exist. Like we don't care why we're going back to the moon for the 117th time.
That is
As
fact.
long as there's something new to do, there's new guns to acquire, there's activities to play. People are playing it. All right.
That's facts. I think that I think the thing here is they see that there's more opportunity to make money with Marathon with the in game content as far as transactions are in the
All about
game.
that money.
But like, even though Destiny has those same things, the um, skins and all that, and the guns and stuff, I think the game just been here for so long that most people that used to play Destiny, like Caveman, used to play Destiny a lot. You're not playing it anymore. You're moving on to something new, and Marathon, not necessarily a battle royale, but it is in that genre of games, and that's what's been popular for like the last several years with the Call of Duty battle royale, Apex, Fortnite. Like those are the games that are like selling the most and making the most money at the moment. So I think the focus there is like, okay, let's move into this genre. Let's make more money here. And it makes sense because Destiny 2 has been here for a long time. Let's stop updating Destiny 2, possibly make a Destiny 3, and then, maybe that Destiny will get back on its high horse and start making some money again.
Yeah, I just looked at Steam DB charts, and I hope that the goal is Destiny 3. Like, I hope that rumor has some teeth to it, because I just looked at the player counts on Steam charts for Marathon. 10,000 players right now, 11,000 players in the last 24 hours, and Destiny 2 has closer to 30 on both those KPIs. So, like, there's definitely a lot more popularity there. The player base is there, and I think the all-time, I mean, even the all-time, Destiny 2 was closer to 300,000 players on the player base. Max all-time peak was 2 months ago for Marathon, and they 88,000 players. I mean, the popularity just, like, if the goal is that they are going to concentrate on Marathon, the numbers, assuming that SteamDB is even correct, is not there.
Well, I think that's because Marathon is a new game. It just
That
came
is true.
out, so people aren't familiar with Marathon how they are with Destiny. Because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't played Destiny 2. The last Destiny I played was the first one when it first kind of released on the PS4 in 2014, I believe. And my only gripe with it at the time was that quote me if I'm wrong. I think it was only in first person, and I think in Destiny 2 now it's third person. Am I right with that?
No,
Nah,
there's third person aspects to it. Like if you
yeah.
have one of the swords or something, you might play in person, or if you're on your sparrow, it'll be in third person. But it's still a first person shooter.
So overall, it is first person. There's just you have to use certain weapons to see third person.
Yeah,
Ah, well, yeah. See, and that's a gripe that I have because it's like at the time when I was playing it, I was like, I like the fact that I can customize my character and everything, but I just like to see my character. I'm just big on that,
I,
and
I,
and and so I
Skill
just,
issue.
he's starting to sound like hacker, and I don't know if
bro.
that's a good
Skill
thing.
issue.
It's no, it's no. I mean, no. It definitely was a skill issue. It's just what I was attract. I like to see my character, and it's the same thing with Cyberpunk 2077. I
Yeah.
made the sickest character in that game, bro. Sickest character, bro. Where you can edit him, customize him. They have these thing called where it's like futuristic tattoos called I forgot the name of it. Something tech. and it just looks, bro, he looks so crazy. I'm like, bro, and you can't see your character only in certain parts of, like, movie clips and stuff like that. You get to see them. So that was my only thing. And throughout the course of time, I mean, I know they came out with Destiny 2. There, and a lot of games came out because when did Destiny 2 come out? 2017, right?
I don't know. It's been over 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think it was released in 2017. So even with that being said, it has been a while. So people got familiar with it, from Destiny, the first one, and then Destiny 2 with the improvements. And like, Caveman said, people like the fact that you can loot, you shoot, and buy the skins. And the skins look cool. The skins look cool as hell. I've seen it, and even though I wasn't like a fan of the first one, when I saw the advertisements of Destiny 2, I'm like, bro, like I'm tempted to play this because the skins look so cool. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that that's a type of game where you can't get into it too late because there's not enough people that will play it. So
Yeah, so I did confirm September 6th, 2017 is when it came out. And then the PC version came out about a month and a half later on October 24th, 2017. So it's been out for a while. It came out on previous gen PS4 and the Xbox One. But yeah, I mean, I'm right up the alley with you, man. Like, honestly, I only really played with Caveman and Billion only because, like, I thought to myself, like, oh yeah, this was in third person, and then I jumped on and I was like, oh man, another FPS game. I mean, for us third person story, based gamers, it was enticing. The environment, the design, the character modeling and stuff like that. Like the game had opportunity to sort of entice people, and if they had skins as far as like the gear, I mean, you got to imagine you're collecting gear that you kind of can't see. But I mean, for like I said, for us, there's people who love it, and there's people who are just gonna be diehards when it comes to FPS games.
yeah, I just feel like if according to what you're saying with the numbers, I think that their best bet would be should they should make a third one, especially since the second one was released so long ago, and they should keep it flowing, especially with the skins. And because I mean, if they make a third one, I'll be down to check that out. So you know.
You still ain't gonna see yourself.
I,
Just keeping it real.
no, but no, but the second one is in third person, right?
No,
Nah,
it's not. There are portions of the game where you can see yourself in third person. Like for instance, when you're walking around the tower, that entire experience is in third person. But when you're out in the world doing the activities, raids, multiplayer, all that stuff, it's first person unless you're doing something that requires you to be in third person.
yeah, like the only instances where you'd even be able to see yourself in third person is like doing a specific attack, or you're holding a sword and you're like trying to jump. One of the things that I actually hated while I was playing during a game session was like there was like this like like jumping mechanic or whatever, like for traversing and stuff like that. That was like very annoying to manage in first person, in my personal opinion. And I just remember like crashing out during the game session with Caveman, bro. It's
That
just
is
like,
100% skill issue.
nah, man.
That's all it is.
Listen,
That's 100% a
like,
skill issue.
yeah, it was like I couldn't enjoy it. I couldn't see the environment in the way that I wanted to. But of course I recognize we're sort of deviating in terms of like uh in the life stuff. But like if they kill Destiny 2, I'm not too mad at it. But I will say I think a lot of people enjoyed it. Like people like Caveman actually enjoyed that game. But honestly, if they concentrate on Marathon, assuming that the rumors are true, the numbers don't add up, and I do think that they really need to reprioritize Destiny 3, if anything. And even though we've said, maybe no more remakes and sequels, they need to do better. Like, I mean, this is an IP that I think could serve them well long term.
It wouldn't be a remake or a sequel. It's just
Nah,
it.
it was
Well, it
sequel.
would be a sequel. Yeah, it would be a new
Yeah.
game. It wouldn't be a
Yeah.
remake. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think Destiny 3 probably should come out. But overall, Destiny 2 and even the original Destiny, I kind of fell off it because it was just super repetitive. It got boring after some time. Um, I can see why marathon is being the priority because of the type of gameplay that it is.
I
Even
guess you're
though that
thinking
is
more of the
repetitive
potential.
too, it's just like it's alive. You're playing against other players, so it's a PvP.
Yes,
So
it's another live
it's
service.
it's
I
too it's just too many of these games, man. We have the finals out. We have like there's just so many. There's so many of them, and I feel like they need to stick with what they have, which is just make Destiny 3. Like don't and if they do make Destiny 3, Bungie, if you guys are listening to this, please add third person. Make it both.
Nah, nah, nah. Don't worry about him. Make Destiny 3, but you don't need to do third person.
Well, if you want new players, which I'm sure they want new players, they will make it third person and first person.
hey man, listen, if you can't play a first person game, your skill level isn't high enough. It's not at
Exactly.
9,000, bro.
Bro, you talking to somebody who used to put bodies down in Golden Eye, bro. You don't want to
Bro,
see
we talking about Nintendo 64, bro. Like, get out of here, bro.
like
Yeah, like
I,
30 years ago, bro.
I
Stop
was
playing,
kidding,
bro.
bro.
Back in my day on Atari. Great
oh
discussion. Great
man.
discussion. I think it's a great talk, guys. But I think we definitely want to move on. I mean, definitely, you definitely strong opinions about the game. But to put a bow on the topic, really quick, with the end of life update, are we excited about the end of life update? Is it worth checking out before it ends, or are we're pretty much full on Destiny as far as we're concerned? We're just waiting for Destiny 3. And do we plan on checking out Marathon? Just really quick, 30 seconds. Bill Nunn.
Oh,
Marathon? No, no, no.
Okay, and are you checking out? Are you going to go back and check out Bungie for the final update? I'm sorry, not
Nah,
Bungie, but
Destiny.
Destiny,
Destiny
nah,
for the final update.
nah. Go ahead and clip it, man. It's over with.
Doubtful, huh? Okay, what about you, Hacker?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, if they kill Destiny and don't make and Destiny 2 and don't make a Destiny 3, I think that continues on to the same thing. Same tune of gaming dying in a very specific kind of way, where it's more concentrated around live service. Make Destiny 3, and concentrate on quality.
Okay, and are you checking out Destiny for the final update, or are you done for?
I'm done. I'm done for on Destiny 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
said all that to say I'm done.
All right. What about you, Caveman?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
You are okay.
From what I understand, they are putting in everything. So regardless of where you were in that game, you have access to everything at this point. So that to me sounds great, and I hope that they are doing what they said before, killing Destiny 2 so that they can work on Destiny 3. Hopefully we hear something about it in the future. I'm fine if they work on Marathon for now, as long as they come out with a Destiny 3 later on.
Okay, perfect. So Caveman's venturing off to the Destiny waters again. All right. What about you, Shells? I think I know the answer, but let's
So,
see.
yeah, Destiny 2, man, dead in the water. You feel me? And I hope to see Destiny 3. I hope it can gravitate my attention and pull me in and see what they're working with. So I'm looking forward to it if they ever do. If not, I'm swerving, man.
Swerve. All right, awesome. All right, so in other news, Rocket League 2 announcements. So, Kevin, this is your game, so I know you're probably excited about this one, but I think Rocket League 2 was announced, and it's announced to be on the Unreal 6 engine. So, I think they've been on Unreal 3 for what, like 15 years? Mark me if I'm wrong here.
I don't know
Uh,
how long they've been on it, but
and they're
Unreal
skipping
3,
5.
yeah, Unreal 3 was released 20 years ago, so it is a much needed update. Hopefully when they actually do the update, I don't know if it's actually a Rocket League 2. They just named it Rocket League. It just seems like it's just
Gotcha.
an update. But hopefully when they do it, there's not a change to the physics, a change to I mean, it's there's going to be things that are going to change for sure. Hopefully the gameplay stays the same, the visuals can be updated. What is going to be the most interesting is all of the content creators out there, like for instance Lethamir, he's probably my favorite one. All of the things that he creates, I'm pretty sure it's going to be significantly easier with a modern engine. So the freedom of the developers of these, these map makers has gone through the roof. So once this happens, there's no telling what we'll actually see in that game. So I'm very excited for that. And, the industry as a whole, that's also crazy because UE6. I mean, Unreal Engine is just used like in so many things. So it's crazy to see the next iteration coming out.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what what they tap into with the Unreal 6 engine. From my understanding, it's gonna be they're not changing the core gameplay, just making it run better, more stable frame rates, all that good stuff. Even I think dynamic grass and lighting physics. But yeah, does anyone else play Rocket League by any chance?
We don't
No.
care about car stuff, bro.
Honestly, like, okay, so I'm gonna be like harping on Steam DB and just like player counts a little bit, and I'm kind of curious as to what was going on in 2020 with Rocket League. I am seeing that like their numbers right now, according to Steam DB, is like 30,000 players in the last 24 hours, 20,000 right now, but like them having a peak of almost 150,000 almost 6 years ago now. So like, obviously there were things going on in their 2020s. Maybe that might be why their numbers peak so high. But in comparison to other titles that you might think about, not necessarily within the genre, but just because it's sort of like this new genre when I think of Rocket League, that doesn't necessarily really have any competitors. Um, unless you actually get into like real soccer, like FC, like
I would not compare real soccer to this.
exactly. So like it's a very different, very unique sort of thing, and it's seen its numbers sort of deplete a little bit over time, and I think the recent announcement might have played into some growth in terms of their player numbers growing, and I don't know. Them skipping Unreal Engine 5 to Unreal Engine 6, I don't know. What kind of, obviously I'm not a creative mind. Like I said, this is a very unique title, but what kind of new things would they be introducing, right? Like, why would I care about dynamic grass in this instance, right? I mean, obviously some of their levels include some of that stuff, but you know, I think this was a reference to LZ on a previous episode. Like we want to see extreme detail, but what does it net us in terms of gameplay and quality improvements? Like, what do we think is going to be introduced with UE6 that they couldn't do with UE3 or UE5?
I'm telling you already. You need to open up your ears. It's that level of freedom.
Listen,
Like seriously, though.
Tragic.
Like so if you go based off of just what's in the base game, pretty much for anybody who's on console, which unfortunately for y'all need to step it up and get on PC. But for anybody who's on console,
Whoa! You just attacked like a massive player base, dude. That's
Bro.
crazy.
yeah,
For
well,
real.
on console they don't have access to the custom maps. So
solid.
that's one of the things. That is the thing right there where it becomes significantly better. It's the custom maps. There's a lot of map makers out there who are making a bunch of very interesting, challenging, unique, all types of ideas, all types of things. Right? They can literally make other games inside of this game. It has already been done. Like for instance, you guys remember that game Fall Guys? Remember how that was popular for a time? Yeah, that exists within Rocket League. It was a custom map that somebody made.
Yeah,
You know,
but hold on. That's the thing. That's the thing that he was just asking. He's saying, what is Unreal Engine doing for Rocket League
It's
that we
going to
necessarily
allow
care
them.
about? Because these maps that you're talking about, they already exist. It's not
Yeah.
like
What I'm saying
Unreal
is
Engine
this.
is going to make new maps or something.
They're going to have more modern technology, which allows them to do more. It's like with anything.
yeah,
that
more
gets
dynamic grass.
More dynamic grass.
I mean, I guess that's the gripe I have with Rocket League. Is like, okay,
Bro.
more dynamic grass. We're driving cars on grass to knock a soccer ball. Like, I mean, I totally get
Bro.
it. There's a unique perspective to the gameplay and what they're introducing. But like when I think of like interesting games that grab my attention and titles. Like I honestly would want to play a more realistic soccer game, or like maybe like we talked about NBA Streets recently, and like maybe bringing some of those kind of soccer games back. Like why are and that maybe I understand again different
Well,
title,
I don't
but
think
I
you
don't
do.
understand what UE6
I
has.
really don't.
Now,
Well, I
now,
mean, I just don't understand what UE6 specifically has to do.
Freedom.
Freedom to
Freedom.
freedom.
Freedom
freedom of
to do
what?
more things.
Freedom of what?
Oh, I just hear
freedom of
freedom to do more things
creativity.
and more
Yeah.
customization.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
check this out. So I'm guessing that obviously the skybox is gonna look better, graphics are gonna look better. Maybe when you use your little turbo, the grass kind of sets on fire behind you and stuff like that. But it's just little race cars knocking a soccer ball. Honestly, Hacker, I'm surprised you don't like Rocket League more because
Whoa, what the
no,
heck?
what I'm saying, I'm surprised you don't like the game more because you can see your character. You can see the whole thing. You
Yo,
love
chill, bro,
I
chill,
mean,
That's all
he
it
bro.
does
takes,
have
huh?
a point. He
listen, bro.
does have
I'm
a
not.
point.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Now with this, UE6. You feel me? If like Caveman said, it's more freedom. Let's just hope that the cars could turn into an Autobot and transform, and we can,
Transform.
you know what I'm saying, and kick the ball or something, bro. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
I
not
need
happening,
from.
bro.
That's
That's
what
That's
I
not
that's
need.
happening.
probably not gonna happen, but that would be kind of cool.
You
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, it would.
so another thing, just to point this out is that I do feel like UE6 is extremely OP, right? Like there's been a conversation sort of surrounding the idea that, oh, The Witcher 4 is gonna be like this amazing thing, and they're using it as like a testing ground for The Witcher 4. And like UE6 is gonna or Rocket League is gonna leverage UE6 to kind of showcase what The Witcher 4 can do. And I was like, what? When I heard that perspective, I was like, what? Like, I mean, we're talking about like dynamic movement and generating multiple NPCs in the same scene and having them all be interactive with the world in a way that you don't see sort of modeling happening in real games today, or might require a lot of processing power. But I just don't see Rocket League in the same way of being able to like leverage what UE6 has might potentially introduce in the next 3 to 4 years, just because it 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 doesn't require some of that same demand in terms of processing power. Sure, you might get more dynamic grass, the towers might look better, the cars might look better, but are we adding crumple zones to those cars when when another car tackle hits you or something like that? And like what are we introducing in Rocket League that would be like so innovative in a way that we would be like, okay, like it's actually using and leveraging Unreal Engine 6 in like a really really demanding way. So the conversation around Rocket League and it's coming out on UE6 when they made the announcement, I was like, okay, I mean, what can't they do on UE5?
A lot is what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's
I
so
mean, I'm,
funny.
I'm hearing a lot, but I'm hearing
It's
and I'm hearing
it's
more things, but like all
I'm,
those are vague,
I'm
it,
because
it's
hearing,
they,
I'm hearing a lot of nothing. That's what I'm
yeah,
hearing.
yeah.
but it's
Like,
funny because it's interesting to hear you guys' perspective of it because none of you actually play, so you're only thinking
Well,
about what the core gameplay is.
oh, to be
As
fair to us, you've introduced us to it, man. We've had the gaming
I
session,
have
so
not shown you any of the custom maps. That's the thing. Once you start playing other things, custom stuff, it changes up everything.
all right, all
And
right.
that's where you get to see things that are totally different. Nothing like what you're imagining right now because it is not the base game. It is not car soccer. It might be car soccer in a different shape, a different form, something like that, but there are so many other things that are available out there.
I,
So
I've
if
got
you
I've got another hot take, which would be I am very weary of user generated content to begin with. So I just hear, you guys remember a couple years ago with what was the game that was competing with Call of Duty? Um, it has like the very large scale maps. It's not. I don't think it was Battlefield. There's another one that was out there, and a couple years ago, they tried to introduce the idea that gamers would would create would create their own maps, right? And we would just release the software. I'm very like cautious with user generated content because when you have these like I think there's a possibility that we might sort of like microtransactions, we might dive into an environment where gaming becomes we're no longer doing storytelling. I mean, we already have that with live service, right? But now we're not even able to tell or have gaming environments that are sort of congruent in a uniform way that people can actually enjoy with the levels because people just build whatever. I mean, you might have a single person that might build something that's really detailed and uniform and you can actually enjoy. But I mean, I think about some of the developers and graphic artists putting some of the stuff forward, and I hear UGC and Rocket League, and I'm a little cautious about how much I would enjoy some of those things and it becoming slop that someone is just testing out and they just push like, oh yeah, we've got an expansion of Rocket League. You know what I mean? So like I'm cautious. I'm cautious about it in Rocket League. I'm cautious about it in GTA 6. I'm cautious about it in pretty much any game where they're like, yeah, we don't have to pay developers. We just want you guys to do the work. And you can do it for free, and then we'll put it in the game for everybody else. I'm very cautious about it.
I don't know about. I mean, if the game is revolving around that, like if the game was meant as in there was very little to no content actually created with the game and it's just a bunch of tools, then I would agree with that. But when it comes to something like Rocket League and some of the other games, um, it's different. The core of Rocket League, I'm going to use that one as an example, but I will come back to a different example. The core of Rocket League is, the standard field car soccer. That is cool. That's not changing. That's what a majority of the people who play the game play it for. But if you enjoy it and you like to try something different, maybe test your skills in a different environment, a different set of rules, then you have all of that user generated content. Some of it will be slop, but at least in terms of Rocket League, there's actually quite a bit of really good stuff out there, right? And some of the other games where it's that I was thinking of is, do you remember that game Little Big Planet?
Yeah, I remember Little Big Planet.
Yeah, that game was essentially made so that people could make their own stuff. Like
Yeah,
that
Little
was kind
Big
of like the
Planet was
core.
gas though. That was like it had all type of stuff going on. Adventure,
Exactly.
like a
So
platformer. But Rocket League is soccer with cars.
yeah, but my point is
Car
this:
soccer.
it's not the point of it. Like, yes, car soccer. Thank you.
I feel like well, maybe I don't pay for anything in Rocket League and I don't play it that much, but I don't know. Maybe they're missing like more car designs and stuff like that. Maybe they can add more cars that look a little bit more realistic and not so cartoonish or so like basic, I guess. Maybe a little bit more upgrades that you can do to the car. So
You want loot boxes.
They
I
had
don't
loot boxes in there.
There's already loot boxes.
There's already loot boxes in there. But
Yeah, they
you
come
guys
with
have
those
not.
cars, you know what I'm saying?
You
But
guys have
I
not
want like
played enough.
maybe there needs to be more, options for making your car look
They got you.
different from somebody else, but for free. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That is
obviously the game is free, but there needs to be more items, more things to do for the free players versus like everything just being behind a paywall.
Yeah.
There is no paywall. There is so much behind. Like, dude, I don't pay for anything, and I have a ton. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but you have a ton after you played like 30,000 hours, man. Like we don't play that much. Like I want to be able to hop on, maybe get me a Ford GT or something like that, hook it up with some little rims, lose a couple soccer games because I don't got 30,000 sweaty hours on the game. You know what I'm saying?
I want to dunk on 36s.
You feel me? Enjoy my dynamic grass. You feel me?
Peanut butter inside, right?
I want to get the rims that keep spinning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, heard.
Bro, you can get rims in there with eyes.
We want the ignorant stuff, man. We want the ignorant stuff on there. That's what you're saying.
There's so much stuff. Anyway, back to the original topic, which was UE6. I'm excited for it. I think it's a good thing. I'm glad that they introduced it with Rocket League. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Great debate. Great talk, really. All right. So let's jump into the next topic, man. I'm sure you all have seen this. I think we all have dived into Call of Duty to some degree, but if you've been living under a rock and you haven't seen it, Activision broke the internet by officially announcing that Infinity Ward's next title, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, um, it's locked in for Friday, October 23rd, 2026 release date. And they dropped a trailer that showed quite a bit. It looks like it's going to be centered around a North Korean and just a Korean war in general. It's going to follow some South Korean soldiers on the collapsing front lines with, it looks like Captain Price operating as an off the books rogue agent in the shadows. And they might be stepping away from the Omni movement. How do you guys feel? I know, let's start off with you. We'll start with you, Shellz. Are you excited about this Call of Duty?
Yes, I am actually, and I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first saw the trailer drop, I was like, "Oh snap!" I was like, "Call of Duty 4," and I was like, "Wait a minute, is this real? Is this official?" And it was official. And I remember when I saw it, I was oh, so I want to say this. I want to start by saying this. I know that most people don't play Call of Duty for the campaigns, but I want to say Call of Duty campaigns have always been fire to me, especially in the Modern Warfare series. Haven't really played too much of the Black Ops campaigns, but I'm pretty sure they're probably good as well. And I, I just gotta say, man, when I saw that story trailer for Modern Warfare 4, it looks crazy. It looks crazy. It looks pretty dope. It looks pretty dope. And I'll never forget. I think it was in Modern Warfare 2 where there was a scene where you play as a terrorist. And I think it's like when you go into the airport.
Yeah.
Yo,
No
yo,
Russian.
I don't even know how they were even able to put that into the game, to be honest with y'all, because that's some stuff that, and I think it even warns you too. I think it gives you the option so that you can possibly skip the scene because that scene is crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
So it sounds like you plan on getting this Call of Duty. And
Uh-huh.
did you get this current one? Did you get Black Ops? What is it, Black Ops 6?
No, I haven't.
No, Black Ops 7. That's the
7. Yeah,
current
my
one.
bad. 7. Yeah. Did you get 7? And
No, I haven't gotten 7. I there's been a few that I've missed out on. I'm not gonna lie. There's been a few that I've missed out on, and I'll only say this. I know they're gonna come at me for this, but I'm ready. The only reason why I skipped out on it was because there's a Call of Duty that comes out every year, and it started to become repetitive. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like I said, I like the campaigns. It's almost one comes out every year, and that's why I was like, man, I need something different, man. They got to pull me in, man. They got to wheel me in,
yeah.
especially because of the fact that I think that I could be wrong. I think the last Black Ops game that did come out, I think you had to pay for the campaign, bro. Like, where do they do that at?
You have to pay for all of them. What you mean?
I mean, that's the price of the game, bro.
Yeah,
The price of the game.
Campaign?
Yeah, so I think
Campaign, shouldn't it be included in the game, bro? Like, what are
It's
you
a part of
talking
the
about?
game, bro. Like, you buy the game for a campaign and you buy the game for multiplayer. Only
Yeah.
Warzone is free, bro. Like, where you been at?
Where you been at, for real? It's been forever since you played a COD game.
Listen.
I think
Okay,
Warcraft.
that's what I've been trying to tell y'all.
Nah. I think this has been true for Call of Duty since the original Modern Warfare came out in '07, bro. Like, you buy the game,
What?
you get campaign and multiplayer. That's what you're paying for.
No,
And then,
Exactly.
no,
like,
no,
Warzone is its own thing.
Billion is right.
no. But wait. So from what I heard was you had to pay for the campaign, so it doesn't come included with the game.
No,
Bro,
No,
like, why would you
no,
be
no,
paying
no, no,
$70
no.
for a game and not get the campaign?
yeah,
That's
the
what
game-
I.
yeah.
But that's what I heard, though. That's what I was
No,
hearing.
You heard
that's
wrong.
yeah.
Okay.
they would have survived doing something like that. Yeah, they would have been enough more.
Call of Duty
Yeah,
already get a
so-
lot of backlash as like what it is. Like, for them to say, okay, pay $60, $70 for this game, but what is the game coming with? Is it only coming with multiplayer? And then then you got to pay $20 for campaign? Like, come on, That
They'd have
sounds
gone out of
crazy.
business.
Oh
They would have
yeah.
gone out of business.
The backlash would have been insane, bro. Like what?
Well, so
um,
Billion, real quick. So with you though, I know you stepped away recently from Call of Duty, right? And you've been more on like the Apex vibe. Yeah, for sure. So I mean, for you, did you check out the trailer? Do you think it's enough? Did they show enough for you to come back to the franchise, or is it still some more fatigue? You just
So
checked out.
so I am a Modern Warfare fan, but like originally when I saw the trailer, where was I can't remember where I was when I saw the trailer. I saw it online. I had looked at it, but it almost seemed fake to me. It almost seemed like a AI generated trailer, like a player generated trailer. And when everybody was saying like, "Oh no, nah, this trailer is real," I was like, "Oh, I don't feel like it came from the studio." You know what I'm saying? From Infinity Ward. Normally, Modern Warfare games are made from Infinity Ward, so I don't know if it's made from Infinity Ward this time or not. I'm
yeah, it
pretty sure
is.
it is, but yeah, I felt like it was like a player generated trailer. It didn't really show much. I guess it was just more so campaign story, which is cool. I think, like you said, and Price and Pierce. I can't remember the two names, but they're supposed to be on the same team. But now on this game, they're supposed to be fighting each other. They're on opposite sides of the line. Um, After I went back and did a little bit more research on it, the game does look interesting. You know, I've always been a Call of Duty player since the original Modern Warfare. I love Call of Duty. I think in the last couple of years, they just kind of lost their core players, their original core players, because we're more focused on like the multiplayer, and they started focusing on the battle royale aspect and stuff like that, and not really caring too much for the multiplayer guys. Because you know me, I love to play team deathmatch, domination, and those other game modes and stuff like that. But it just seems like battle royale has been like the core focus for the last few years, and the games just haven't been as good. I mean, there was a Call of Duty in the series that came out that didn't even have a story mode. It was just like straight to online and battle royale. So it was, I don't know. I think they just kind of lost focus. Modern Warfare 4, I've always been a big Modern Warfare fan. So I do think I will be checking this out. I I don't know how great is going to be or what the main focus is at the moment, because obviously they're introducing a new storyline with the whole North and South Korea. I heard that there's supposed to be a couple maps that are in the US also during that story. But I also heard or read that they are introducing, I think it's 3 or 4 brand new maps for multiplayer that's never been in any Call of Duty. So I'm excited to see that. I feel like map design has always been like the core thing for Call of Duty and multiplayer, and they kind of lost track with that. Their map designs haven't been very good for quite a while now. Players like me, I think Kev is an OG player. We look forward to seeing like very good design 3-lane maps that Call of Duty was built off of, instead of all of these doors and windows and alleyways and all, this up and down stuff. And it just got a little too crazy. But let's see. I'm excited for it. I can't lie. So I want to see where it goes.
For sure, for sure. And what about you, Caveman, as our resident Call of Duty sweat? How are you feeling about this one?
Mixed, mixed on it, and I say that for a couple reasons. Call of Duty always looks good, but just because it looks good doesn't mean that the game will be good. There's going to be gameplay mechanics, company decisions, and all those type of things that can change it up. Because for example, Black Ops 7, I didn't buy it, but I don't think it's a bad game. I just don't agree with what they've been doing. Right? I don't
Same,
agree
same.
with back to back releases of the same thing that literally feels like a $60 or $70 update to the existing game. To me, that's just ridiculous. At least when they were switching from Black Ops to Modern Warfare to whatever, it felt somewhat different. different company or different studio creating it, that type of stuff. So it at least felt somewhat different. But I mean, I can't say that it's a bad game because like I log on, I'll play Warzone or something like that, and it's still fine. And for everything that we've seen, like I said, looks good. DMZ, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that. I am excited in that it is no longer going to be on the previous gen consoles, so that's going to free them up to do more things in the game. So let's see if they actually take advantage of that. And outside of that, well, you never know. It is Activision, so they're gonna try and get you in the wallet somehow. So we'll see how they do that this
That's
time.
facts. That's facts.
Yeah. And yeah, good points there. So you did make a good point there that they are no longer supporting the current gen consoles. So taking a page out of, I think, Battlefield's book for this year's release, where they didn't support the current gen, they said, this allows the devs to really work on a project and really, make it the best product it can be without worrying about old tech. So hopefully that's a good sign. But how do you feel about it, Hacker? Was the trailer enough for you to be locked in for this release, or are you still, are, were you still waiting for the third person view and they didn't show you enough of that yet?
I actually have a lot of opinions on this one. And the thing that's interesting, a couple things I'll start with. The first one being, I think the fact that they introduced the North versus South Korea sort of long ranging conflict as the primary, concentration, I think that's actually amazing from a storytelling perspective. I think that's going to take the game for those of us that do play and enjoy the campaigns, because the campaigns have, I think, like Shellz mentioned, the LZ or the campaigns have always been very good, and that's what people sort of gravitate to. And just to reference back to something that Shellz mentioned, was that mission that you were talking about, Shellz, was actually called No Russian from '09 on the original Modern Warfare 2. And that mission was crazy. So I do agree with that. The other thing that I heard, I did hear from a couple folks that ended up having the opportunity to actually go to the studio and get some very detailed information and being able to see some of the existing media that the company was essentially willing to share about the upcoming gameplay or the upcoming game. And there were a lot of things that I thought was very interesting, because we did mention that Captain Price was going to essentially be something to take a look into. But, and not to ruin any spoilers, there is something wild that essentially happens. I'm not going to share here, but
No,
supposedly
share that,
but
please. What are you talking about? The
act
game
like
ain't even
people
out
aren't-
yet. Share that.
Yeah, talk about it.
okay, so apparently the idea is that Infinity Ward wasn't necessarily too happy with the direction that Modern Warfare had been taken in previous games, and that was a perspective that the person had, and the concept was that they were essentially going to kill off Price. He actually gets killed right at the beginning of the game, and I want to make sure that I'm right, that Price is the one that essentially dies at almost at the very beginning of the game, and then the game kind of like it was a signal for Infinity Ward from a story perspective to then take the story into absolutely new creative territory with the North and South conflict between, in that peninsula. So I thought that was very interesting. In terms of whether or not Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is something that I'm going to gravitate towards too. I haven't played the last two games. I am someone, I think, that, like a lot of other people, are so sick and tired of like the war zones and the it's fun for a while, but like we just talked about Destiny, we just talked about Marathon, and I didn't get a chance to mention this, but I played Marathon. I actually didn't enjoy it at all. I thought it was terrible. I thought the gameplay mechanics were weak. I thought it was super light. I thought the shooting was also weak. I thought the movement didn't feel as heavy as the battlefields and the Call of Duties out there. And I'm not a first person shooter gamer, right? So, but I think there's a lot of things to be weary of. One other controversial opinion I'll have, LZ, I know you talked about this, is third person. They did, from what I can tell, add third person in Black Ops during the campaign, which I think is sort of a progression. Now, we also saw that they had it in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and possibly, was it Modern Warfare 2? I think they've started adding third person towards the zombie modes. And then even before that, Modern Warfare 2 2019 also included third person. And then they essentially removed it, right? And I think there's been a slow trickle. And I've always made the argument, whoever is on those teams, whether it's at Infinity Ward or the other studio developer, they are cooking when it comes to animation modeling. The detail that you have, and if you want to sell skins and things like that, the detail that that team is putting on those on those character models, and like the way they tilt the gun when you're strafing left and right, and you see the guy's hand movement, and the gun is actually tilting back and forth. Those are details that you do not get to see in first person. You see them, you might see them a little bit from that camera view, but you don't see them in that detailed way that you get to in third person. I'm not gonna rag on that too much longer. Obviously, I recognize that it's a first person game, but whether or not it's going to be something that will bring me back to the game, I don't know. I thought Omni Movement was a little weird system, I think a lot of times they've tried to do a lot of things over the years in terms of movement mechanics that just sometimes piss people off on one corner, and other people in another corner seems to really enjoy it. I'm interested much more in the campaign, and if they add third person, especially from a multiplayer perspective, they might catch my attention, and they might, it might be heavy on that front.
No third person, please.
Yep, no third person, and a lot of what you just said sounds like a skill issue.
Skill issue.
Like, for real.
So I will say, I mean, I play Call of Duty. It's one of the games that I do play. I will say that I know the campaign from the trailer looks like it's a lot better. It's definitely a step up from Black Ops 7. That was just horrendous as far as that story mode was concerned. But ultimately, I don't buy the games for the story mode. It looks like an upgrade, as like Billy said. I'm sorry, as Billion said. I think I kind of want to wait to see what the multiplayer looks like, man. That's what I'm really looking forward to. So just kind of waiting on that. But I think that does open up just really quickly for like a quick debate here. So it looks like Caveman and Billion don't agree. I think safe to say Shellz and Hacker, you both are like third person gamers. You prefer like the third person view. It's safe to say Billion and Caveman, you guys said otherwise. But question really quick, do you think that third person players and first person players belong in the same game, or do you think like it's just like unfair advantage being able to peek around the corners and things like that, where ultimately you don't want them in your shooter
No,
game?
it's 100% unfair. You play completely different when you're in third person, so it's a different game at that point.
Yeah,
That's fact. I mean, but look at it. I look at FPS as in if it was real life. I don't know if you guys ever been to like a paintball field. There's paintball fields. You can bring a paintball gun or rent a paintball gun, and go out and play with friends and stuff like that. Like, you can't see your whole body, your skin, and like you see what's in front of you with your two eyes. So like that's what FPS is. I can't stand on a corner with my forehead on the wall and bend the camera to see somebody coming up and like running up, and then peek out real quick and light them up, and then hop back behind the wall and put my forehead on the wall again to peek the corner. Like, come on, man. Like it just when we're talking about realism and games that have that realistic playability and stuff like that, it's just third person just doesn't have room for it. I'm not going to say that it's the worst game mode or anything. It has its place because obviously there are people that want to play those type of games and stuff like that. But I think third person is like its own thing. Bring it back. for those 20 people that do play that. But it's not really. It doesn't really make
20.
or break Call of Duty or any other game that's supposed to be FPS.
The thing is this, it just depends on the type of game, that you're playing. You know what I mean? Like if it's a game where it's like open world or something like that, like I hate to bring it up again, but Cyberpunk. Like if it's a game like that where you're giving me options to customize my character, bro, please, if you're gonna give me the option, you gotta put third person in there, bro. I don't want to have to sit there and imagine what I just created, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't even give me the option to create my character if it doesn't matter if I can't
So
see him.
I
You know,
think I
so
think where Call of Duty can do good here is so in what is it? It's Call of Duty World War
World at War.
was it Vanguard?
Something like that?
It was it wasn't Vanguard. It was World War II, I think. They had like the pregame lobby where your character can run around. You can kind of do stuff at the gun range. You can call your loot boxes in.
World War II. Yeah,
Yeah,
World War
World War
II.
II in the pregame lobby.
I
Like
really
that's
like World War II.
yeah, that could be in third person. You know what I'm saying? So you can see your character if you got new skins and stuff like that. You bring back that pregame lobby where
Yeah,
everybody
the HQ. It was called
yeah,
the
the
headquarters.
HQ. Exactly. Like
Yeah.
that was super cool. I thought that was really unique. I thought that was super cool. And they took it out and never brought it back. That
Yeah.
should be something that's in every Call of Duty moving forward.
I
That's
disagree.
where you get to see your character and everything. But like during gameplay, I don't want to see my character in third person. My skill is too high to be dealing with people peeking on the side of the wall.
well, okay. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do agree with you. On that. I feel like if there's a room and if everybody's playing in first person, then everybody should be playing in first person. But if
Yeah.
but if they separate it to like where people are playing in third person, then let it be a room for people playing in third person. So then there's no unfair advantage.
Yeah, of course.
I second that.
20
Yeah.
people. There's 20 people playing third person. Hacker, obviously Shellz, and the other 18 people that are in that room. So by all means, have your fun. But the rest of the high skill players are going to be on first person player.
I don't mind playing first person when it's in like a competitive atmosphere. I don't mind it, but when like I said, it depends on what type of game I'm playing. That's when it matters to me the most.
I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing, like in Black Ops 7, for example, like they're adding third person, because like you can see the story if you opt in. And one of the things that they sort of did, at least seemingly, was give you the option, or maybe it was just like permanent. I didn't play Black Ops 7 or buy it, outside of like the Warzone that we've played together. But like it seemed from the videos that I've seen that if you are playing in third person, what they do is once you hit the trigger and you're shooting, they actually switch your camera view from first person or from third person to first person mid gameplay. So you're shooting, you're aiming down sight, you're actually in first person mode while shooting. And so it's sort of like a hybrid to third person and a first person.
Still wouldn't do it. Nah, keep them separate. The way that I see
Well,
it,
I'm talking about campaign, right? Not
Campaign.
online multiplayer. So in this context.
But that's still something that affects how the campaign plays, because when you guys are talking about immersion, because I remember in the last episode where Shellz said, "Oh, you don't like to be immersed in the games," but like that's what creates the immersion in an FPS game, is playing as the perspective as if you were the one that was there.
Man,
When
at
you're
that
walking
point,
when you're walking out your house, you can't see your whole fit that's on. Like if you look down and up, you see your shoes, maybe your shirt, and then like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's it. Like you can't see everything, bro. Like you can't bend the corner
yeah,
and see it.
but you look at a mirror before you go outside every day, don't you?
Yeah, but you're looking at the mirror when you're putting on these little cosmetics and stuff like that before you enter the game. So like what's the difference?
So I won't segue down that rabbit hole. I think there are multiple different ways that you can do storytelling. And I think in those instances, I think people can enjoy it in both ways. And I think Activision, Infinity Ward, and I forget the name of the other studio, could do themselves well and serve themselves well by introducing a higher player base if they want to, considering that they have been seeing some issues with people retention. Right, they want people buying their microtransactions, et cetera, et cetera. I think that they would serve themselves well by giving people something new to introduce, because there is, I think, a bit of a hunger for it out there, and I think people enjoy the gameplay. One of the most popular games, if you think of tactical shooters, I'm going to go back to Ghost Recon Future Soldier, one of my favorite games that introduced the same mechanics and movement mechanics that Gears of War sort of followed, right? Is being able to see your character, how they're moving from and hiding between like little blocks or whatever, like you're taking cover. That eventually the division sort of followed, being able to see your character in those movement mechanics, and then putting the gun over whatever you're hiding in, or putting it around and shooting, and being able to kind of see that. I think those are things that those are elements within storytelling, environmental storytelling, that you get to appreciate. And I think you can give users or players the ability to sort of enjoy it in the way that they want to, and it will serve them well. I think they make money from it. I think more people would buy their games.
I don't think Super Soldier is a more popular game than Call of Duty or Rainbow Six is, and Rainbow Six has a huge community.
Well, I mean, I don't
And
know that we can compare
that's
those two
that's
games. They came
FPS.
out in two different eras, right? And in terms of yeah, I mean, I guess you could. Future Soldier came out when, early 2000s, '07. I don't
A little
remember.
bit after '07.
Yeah.
I think
But
Call of Duty kind of held this genre for a long time, and then Super Soldier came out after them
but
to do the third person. But as far as like FPS games, Call of Duty's always had a big following. Rainbow Six has a huge following. It's still super popular now. I Not to say that third person doesn't have room in the genre. They obviously do, but I don't think there's enough people that care about playing a shooter game that's third person versus playing in first person because of the skill dynamic. It's so easy for Timmy No Thumbs to bend the wall with a camera that it's just not realistic. When we're talking about realism in these games, bending a camera across a corner just isn't realistic.
It is 100% cheap as far as I'm concerned, especially when you're playing in these competitive shooters. I hate the fact that somebody with no skill can sit down next to a wall and somebody else can just move out for a second and it's like, okay, I can shoot you real quick because you had no idea I was there. It's not fun. I'm not saying that
j-
there's not a space for third person shooters, but if the game was built around first person like Call of Duty is, it should be first person. And for you guys, when you're talking about seeing your characters and stuff, I don't know about you, but I see my character all the time. I don't
all
see
right,
it
so,
Again,
so
mid
j- just a
gameplay, but I see it all the time.
just a quick correction. Ghost Recon Future Soldier came out in 2012. But again, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I think there's opportunity for it to be enjoyable across both, and if they want to increase their player base, um, and if they want to see the retention, I think it would serve them well to have, because there's, I mean, as we have this conversation, you have 2 out of 5 people. That's what, 40%
I
of,
mean, again,
if you're sampling data, right? Like,
I
yeah,
don't disagree with you because there is a space for those people that want to play third person.
yeah.
But in actuality, the majority of the people wanted to play in first person. Modern Warfare 2, they did a great job with third person. But even then, the team deathmatch
And the only reason why I play
goals
Call of
were
Duty now, right?
smaller.
But that was the first game that I joined in on. So, like,
Well,
if you think
that's what
about,
I'm
yeah,
saying. Like, but
yeah.
even then, the matches were smaller because it wasn't enough people playing third person. Like, there just isn't a big enough base of third person players to play an FPS game in the series for them to like focus on that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know because like I actually jumped in on Modern Warfare 2 2019 just about a week ago, and there's still people playing it. So, and it doesn't take me that long to get in on a match. Those servers are still up and running. I think they're still. I'm not saying it's as big, right? I am just saying that if they want to increase their player base and take advantage of what's happening and take advantage. And from a Modern Warfare 4 perspective, because I think that's what we probably want to shift back to rather than first person versus third person wars. We can have a whole nother conversation about that. But I would say that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, if you want to tell the story, you can keep what they've already been doing seemingly in Black Ops 7 and Modern Warfare 4. And I think the modeling, the animation modeling, whoever's on that team has been cooking, and they've been cooking for a very long time. And why waste that work? Allow people to see it. There's seemingly using our sample data, possibly about 40% of the population base of the gaming base that might be interested in it, right? So why not? Right?
Bro,
They're already doing the work.
I doubt there's 40%.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying using this sampling data that I'm not saying it's 40%. I'm just saying
I don't know what
using
sampling data you using, bro.
us.
No, he's
Two out of
using
five.
What do you mean by that?
2 out of 5.
You're using that dynamic grass that you was 40% is crazy, bro. That want to play third person. I don't believe it.
Nah,
I just think that if they sell skins in Call of Duty, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like if you're gonna sell me on a skin, I want to see my character, bro.
We see our skins.
You
We
see
see
it.
them all the time.
Like, yeah, but I want to actively see my character while I'm putting, you know what I'm saying, while I'm
All
putting
right, but
people
here's
down,
the
you know what I'm
thing.
saying?
Here's the thing.
Like actually in action, bro. How they look out into the world, you know? So
but
that's the
listen,
thing.
bro. You're playing an FPS. If you're so worried about how your character looks the entire time, you're not focused on the gunplay, bro. You're not focused on the
Exactly.
game. You're
And
worried
not
about what
only-
my boots look like.
Hey,
Oh, my
hey,
boots
bro,
are dirty.
You're
Hold on.
selling.
I think you're missing the point.
You're
I think
selling
you're
a
missing.
skin, bro, and I'm
I
paying
think-
for that skin. I should
think
be.
you-
I should. My bad, hacker. I have to express myself right now.
Wait. You say you pay for that skin. You got finesse for that skin. That's what you said.
No,
That's what's happened for real.
No, I did not get from that. That's the thing. It's like if you're gonna sell me on buying a skin, if I see this and I'm like, okay, then what's the point of me even what's the point of even selling skins in the game at this point, bro?
You can see your skin, bro. Like, let's say you do a finishing move or execution. You see your whole character model, bro. Like,
Wow.
the point of the game is not to see your
Hold
character, but the point of the game isn't to see your whole character model every second of the game,
Okay,
bro.
I
Like,
understand.
Ben's trying to say it's a skill issue.
No.
If you don't see the skin, it's a skill
Okay, I got a question. How much are the skins in Call of Duty? What's the price?
I don't know because I don't buy any skins, bro. My skill doesn't change what skins are out, bro. Like, I can care less.
Okay, all right. So not you personally, but is there anybody on the pod that has ever bought a skin for Call of Duty?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And yo,
All right.
Shellz, just think about this for a second. You will see your skin quite often because every time you get killed, it goes into third person. You can see your body hit the floor. You'll see it,
Bro.
I don't think
You don't want to see a guy that you just customized, that you paid what, like $5, $7, $10, get bodied, bro, on the ground. Like, bro, what?
Get body in style.
The disrespect, bro. And imagine you just paid $10 for a skin, bro. And all you're always seeing is when you're doing an execution and laying on the floor, dead in the water.
Listen,
Bro.
I'm just saying,
die.
you will see it plenty.
Don't die for players like you. You might see your skin all the time, but
Exactly.
That sounds like a challenge. What you want to do?
Hey, listen, man. If you're trying to run it, let me know
Listen,
because
bro.
I'm
Listen,
know.
listen,
I
bro.
already called y'all out on this.
Listen,
I
bro.
told you already.
It's been a minute since I played Call of Duty, but bro, it don't take
Nah,
me
nah,
long,
nah,
bro.
nah. Don't throw out no
It,
challenge
it,
and be like,
it,
oh, it's been a
it,
minute. It's
it don't
been.
take me long, bro. Man, I was born on gaming, man.
All right. So, all right, let's reel it back in. Great conversation. It got a little personal there. We're going to double back to see what the 1v1 with Billion versus Shellz
Let's
looks
get it. I'll
Man,
use knives only.
listen, man,
I'll use knives
bro,
only so he can
I
make
don't
sure
think
he
you
gets in.
understand, bro. I came out the womb holding the controller in my hand,
Stop
bro.
playing, man.
Stop playing with me, man.
All right. All right, so we're gonna double back, guys. Stay tuned for an update on what that 1v1 looks like. And I know with that being said, Caveman's probably chomping at the bit saying, okay, did you guys say a 4v1? So
Yeah, I told you I do it all day,
yeah.
every day.
Yeah, as a Call of Duty sweat, I know he's waiting for the winner. So all right, so let's just get into the next topic, guys. The Steam Deck. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's been an increase in the price of the Steam Deck. I think like the 512 gigabyte OLED model jumped from 549 to like 789, and the 1 terabyte is at like 949. So quite a bit of a jump on the price. I don't know. Do you guys own the Steam Deck? And if you do not, how do you feel about the price? In particular, do you plan on getting it at these prices?
I own the Steam Deck, and I also own the PS Portal. Um, I really enjoy my Steam Deck. I think it's just being able to like considering how often I fly, generally like at least twice a month I'm on a plane. Being able to have it and being able to go mobile, it's just one of those things. It's convenient. It's much more convenient than the PS Portal, and I'm excited to see what the PS6 portable device might even potentially look like. But considering that um, the price has gone up as much as it has, I am gonna say that I think it's a little bit. It's a little bit jarring. It then raises some questions as to um, what the Steam machine is going to cost, because at those prices for the Steam Deck right now, you're at $1,000, right? So if you introduce the Steam machine, and the 512 is at 789, and the 1 terabyte is at 949. So what's the Steam machine going to cost, right? Like, and that's supposed to be a much more powerful, much more capable version of the Steam Deck. So that raises some concerns for me for what Valve is attempting to offer, unless this hardware and GPU and chip issue in terms of the prices going up gets resolved sometime soon. Like again, we've held some conversations about how gaming is becoming a much more of a luxury at these prices. I personally would not have bought my Steam Deck because I've got a gaming PC. I've got a PS5. Um, and there's no reason for me in a PS Portal that is portable enough, even if I'm away from home. I'm in a hotel room, or I'm in wherever. I can play the game as long as I have Wi-Fi, and the entry point for being able to play while I'm away from home is significantly cheaper at like $199 for the PlayStation Portal. Um, yeah, 789 and 949 is insane. I get why they raised the price and why they've hesitated and held out. I think I champion Valve as one of the companies that actually fights for the consumer in a way that they're still profitable and they're not looking to gouge every ounce out of every corporation, or excuse me, out of every consumer. But man, I'm not sure that the price of the Steam Deck is viable for the like, I don't know, 70% of households who might even be interested in it. And I think there's conversation that most people who were waiting for the Steam Deck's price to drop, or for it to even become available, because it wasn't available for a very long time. It's just been sitting as like out of stock on their website. And mind you, you can only order their products through their website, unless you're buying used, right? This inflates the price of the used market. Naturally it inflates it if you're trying to buy it directly through Valve on their website. So, you know, yeah, it raises a lot of questions for me. The price is insane. It's crazy to think about $1,000 for a Steam Deck, mind you. That matches the price of a PlayStation 6 and the PlayStation 5. That matches the price of the PlayStation 5. The question then becomes, is it more powerful than a PlayStation 5? I think the answer is no. I can play some older titles like Red Dead Redemption on it, but can I play some more powerful titles on there? Absolutely not. I'd have to do a lot. I'd have to concentrate on targeting like FSR and some other technologies to try to get like those frame rates to a reasonable level. And I wouldn't be able to enjoy those heavier titles. You'd have to be a very specific kind of gamer playing indie games and older titles to be able to enjoy it. And I think at $1,000, it's just kind of, it's the same tune, it's the same song. Gaming is getting ridiculously pricey.
Do we know what the hardware inside of the Steam machine is going to be? Because as far as I know, we don't.
Um, that's a good question. But I think I don't, right? I agree with you. But the intention from a design perspective, if I understand it correctly, is that it is supposed to compete at the very minimum with PS5, and it's supposed to my understanding of what might be the company's potential goal is to take away market share from PlayStation and Xbox, right? By
I thought it
introducing
was a little different.
by introducing a competitor to what the PlayStation 5 and those gaming platforms uh, sort of provide, right? And Valve's
I thought
goal
it
is
was a
to
little.
introduce.
That what you're saying, I believe, is a part of it, but I thought the main thing was getting people into PC gaming at console prices,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I mean, what is, yeah, their user interface, their software, their launcher, their ecosystem. I don't disagree with that, and being able to compete with what the PS6 has to offer. But can you build, for example, a gaming PC at the $500 price point right now?
Well,
That
no,
would that
you
would match
definitely
that would
couldn't.
match the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, but so the theory right now is the Steam machine is probably going to cost more than the Steam Deck. I mean, I don't think
Yeah,
anybody's going to be
yeah,
too
that's
surprised about that. So let's just say it is an extra, I don't know, $400. Let's say it's like $1,400. Could you build a gaming PC that is comparable to a PS5? I would argue that the yes, because it's geared more towards PC gaming. I don't
at
think
what
it's right
price?
to at what? Excuse me.
At what price? You said
I said around 1,400.
okay, all right.
Yeah, around $1,400. Right.
So
Just to get that's just a guess. I'm saying it might be $400 more than the more expensive Steam Deck. So that's just a guess. So when we're looking at this machine, I don't think it's necessarily right to compare the pricing of it to consoles. I think it's more appropriate to compare it to PCs because that's what it is. It's just all in one unit, right? Assuming that they are building, like, I mean, if it's a PC, if that's the whole idea is that it is a PC that you can use in your living room, then yeah, I would more compare the prices to other PCs. So then $1,000 or $1,400 is my guess is really not that unreasonable, right? As a matter of fact, Shells, wasn't your PC something like $1,400, something like that you just got? It would make perfect sense, and it just happens to be in a smaller, more portable case that could fit in your living room. I don't necessarily see this pricing as anything bad. It sucks for the people who want one and that it went up. And yes, it is expensive, but that is unfortunately the landscape of PC gaming at the moment. And to an extent, console gaming too, since some things are up there in price. So I don't
so
necessarily see this as a bad thing. It's just a
so
reality of what is.
I'm gonna apply a little bit of a pushback on that. So Steam Deck hardware specs right now, processor is going to be a custom AMD APU with on a Zen 2 architecture, 4 cores, 8 threads. PlayStation 5 Slim CPU, 8 core, 16 thread, AMD Zen 2. So I I uh, I don't know that you can make the argument that the price being $1,500 for the Steam machine when we are seeing that the price of the PS5 Slim current gen, right, is now reaching uh reaching $1,000. It's priced at the same. I mean, and I just gave the specs on the processor and on the processor and I think the GPU is generally, for the most part, almost the same architecture. GPU is on a PS5 Slim is AMD RDNA 2 with 36 compute units. AMD on a Steam Deck is AMD RDNA 2 architecture, 8 compute units. Um,
You think the Steam Deck and the Steam machine are going to use the same GPU and CPU?
no, I don't. But I'm
Well,
saying,
then it should be something ideally higher since it's not portable. It should have
well,
something that is a little bit more power hungry, probably can perform better, and at that point, it would potentially be more powerful than the PS5.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying
Well,
that
so
the price is a bit of a shocker, right? As to where we are in terms
mhm.
of addressing affordability. My argument is that not you made the argument that we can't compare the hardware specs of console. I'm making the argument that, well, I just read that the PlayStation 5 hardware are 1 to 1 across PC versus console. You can't make the argument that they're not the same. That's why the prices are seemingly matching 1 to 1 on a Steam Deck versus a PlayStation. Um, what they do introduce is a different ecosystem to the PC. So if the Steam machine is guaranteed to be higher, I said that at the beginning of my, at this point of my point is, which was, it raises some concerns as to what the price of the Steam machine is going to be, essentially hinting that the price is definitely going to go up. I'm not debating that. The affordability of it, though, is insane if you think that if we are now saying that console like devices, the Steam machine, is now going to cost $1,500. And it also raises what the same argument for the PS6, because if you think about it, now we're saying that, okay, current gen is $1,000. What's the PS6 gonna cost, right? And you have to remember, in every generation of console gaming, and I am going to include the Steam machine in console gaming because it is basically a console. It provides the same features, same capability, different ecosystem. I agree, right? It's Xbox versus PlayStation versus Sony in PlayStation, right? But Steam Machine is going to introduce his Valve's other ecosystem, and they're jumping into the console wars. I think that's my argument there. So we have to compare the specs 1 to 1. The prices is going to go up, and just to circle back to my point is that in every console generation, we notice that prices typically over the lifetime of the console have gone down. The price on this generation of for these consoles is just shooting up, right? We're saying console that started off at somewhere around like the what 350, 400 is now 1,000, and I'm talking in terms of the PlayStation. And that other consoles are 1,000, and that handhelds are also current handhelds are 1,000, and that was already pushing it. And the Steam Deck was the only one sort of kind of holding out from Valve's perspective and having it at like 500. And then they had the LCD version of the Steam Deck. So the fact that the Steam Deck is at this price seems to me to be pretty insane to think about, purely from an affordability perspective.
It is definitely insane. I'm not saying that the price is right. I'm just saying it's, at least for me, not unexpected. That's what I'm saying. But it is definitely crazy. And just for the record, I don't have one, and I have zero intention on buying one. I had zero intention on buying one before the price went up.
Yeah. All right. All right. Good talk there. I don't know. Do you feel any way about it, Billion? Just really quick, 30 seconds, Billion. Shells, do you guys feel any which way about the Steam Deck's price increase?
I'm gonna
Move
keep
on.
it. I'm gonna keep it rated G and say I don't give a flying about the Steam Deck.
Fair enough.
We can care less about the Steam Deck. I don't like the price increase. Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense why I'm paying $900 for a handheld device. I'm not sure what dynamic grass these people are using.
You and that dynamic grass.
But you know what I'm saying? $900 handheld, keep it, please keep it. I hope it doesn't sell any units and they see what their big mistake is.
I would honestly say, bro, at that point, you're better off just getting a PC. Just go ahead and get a PC because the thing is with the Steam Deck, like, dude, even on Steam, it tells you that there's some certain games that you're limited to that's just not you can't even play it on the Steam Deck. So you might as well just go ahead and get a PC, bro.
Well, the other thing that's crazy with this, as I looked at the specs, is that now the Steam Deck is priced at $1,000. What's the current price on a PS5 right now? Does anyone know the exact price of a PS5?
I think for the top PS5, the current price is like almost $700. So
Nah, it's
No,
it's $1,000.
it's more than that now.
It's closer to 1,000,
no,
right? Right. So
the PS5 Pro. I'm sorry, I'm
yeah,
thinking of just like the disc version.
yeah. So like the PS5 Pro is like closer to 1,000,
Yeah,
and
it's like
it
$900.
has more cores. Uh, yeah, 8 core, 16 thread AMD Zen 2, and the Steam Deck is at the same price, and it has less threads in cores, I think. So, uh, you know, uh,
Yeah.
some of the pricing is kind of crazy, dude. Like it's kind of confusing when you look at the pricing.
The PS5 Pro, the
I know
PS5 Pro
Caveman.
isn't even $1,000. It's like 900. It's $899, bro. Like it don't
Yeah.
even make sense.
It's like
Yeah, so like if you
900.
look at this, I know Caveman said it's expected, and it's like, is it though? Like like is
you
it
also
actually?
you also pay more for the mobile aspect of it, I think.
I,
So
there,
I,
okay,
I feel
I
like
thought
you
it
can
was
pay less.
yeah. That's I mean, you get a smaller screen, you're not getting more of the immersive. Like the
Can
pricing seems upside down to me, bro. Like I
can
don't.
can you with the Steam Deck? Is it similar to Switch where if you're in your house, like you can plug it up to the TV and
Oh
play?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They have the whole. They have the whole thing. They all introduce the same thing as the Switch. You can put it into a dock, and then basically just play it on your TV and stuff like that. So yeah. To answer your question, yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, I mean that's cool, but like I said, you're still limited to like the access of games you could play. So you might as well
Yeah,
just get a PC.
and that's why the pricing is crazy to me because like it's a less powerful device that is now more expensive than a PS5 Pro. And I know people appreciate, you know, the ecosystem that Valve and Steam overall introduces, but are we stepping into a new territory? Because, like I said, I've always championed Valve as, the company that's essentially fighting for, you know, consumers a little bit. But are we stepping into new territory here? By the way, just a little quick side note. I think the CEO of Epic Games took a public shot at the CEO of Valve when this essentially happened. Essentially, they were mocking him. Epic Games CEO was, and I'm drawing a blank on both their names, but was essentially mocking the CEO of Valve for raising the prices on Twitter. So just an interesting little tidbit there. I'll get you an exact quote in a second.
Valve obviously was listening to the Bank of America suits and said, "Hey, let's do it."
Yeah,
Run the
I was like, run the gauntlet on pricing. Crazy.
All right. All right, so let's get into the next segment, man. Let's go switch things up a little bit. And with that, we're going to get into day one discount and dead. So this segment is where we talk about the upcoming games this month for June. We have 3 games that we're going to talk about, and you guys will let me know if you're going to get it day one. Are you going to wait for it to go on a discount bin or rack, or are you just out all entirely? Is it just dead on arrival? So we're gonna make it quick and sweet, starting off with the Gothic 1 remake, slated for June 5th of 2026. We can go around. Billion, what do you think? Is Gothic 1 remake, is it day one, discount, or dead for you?
Cut the funeral music on, baby. Dead, man, dead.
Okay, really quick for just a minute. What's wrong with it? What don't you like?
Uh,
One
I, just,
minute.
I just don't care for the game. I was looking at the gameplay. It looks like another like a version of what's that game called?
Crimson Desert.
That hacker put in 30 hours on day one.
Crimson Desert, yeah.
Crimson Desert, Crimson Trash. Same thing.
Oh,
Diabolical, bro.
no.
Diabolical.
Bro, they
Okay.
could be at your house with a pitchfork, bro.
Yo, literally, you're gonna have a whole crowd, man.
Yeah. All right, so Hacker, what about you?
I'm gonna put this one on discount. It's an action RPG, obviously third person game. And it's a remake of something that was a fairly beloved, kind of like niche sort of game, I think. I've played Gothic 1, and I think a remake of it here, assuming that they do it well. It's releasing out on June 5th, so I'm not gonna pick it up day one, but I will. I think it'd be something that'd be on my queue on discount.
Awesome. And what about you, Shells? Okay. All right, Caveman, bring us home. What do you think?
Dead. Simple as that.
DUND. Dead. Okay. All right, pretty straightforward. Not looking forward to Gothic 1 remake right now. Okay, cool. What about NBA The Run? That looks like it might be interesting. Caveman, what do you think?
I have to go with dead on this one too. I don't. Just nah.
Dead. Okay. And do you play sports games at all? Basketball games in general?
A little bit. Like I remember playing like Street Volume 2 and some of them other games like that. Those are fun. This
Not doing it for you.
just doesn't do it for me. No.
Okay. All right. What about you, Shells?
It looks pretty cool. It looks like they're trying to get back to the NBA Street days, which I like the fact that they're attempting, to bring it back. But in my personal opinion, it looks a little bit stiff. Like the characters just don't seem to have as much, as they say today, aura and riz. So like as you're like coming down the
Judge it.
court, so I don't know. I think I'll wait on I'll do a discount on it just to see, where I'm at. I got to see some more of it, so I'll discount it, man. But it
Hacker?
looks cool.
I certainly I agree with Shellz. I think that the fact that they are making an attempt to sort of kind of go back to that same to that era of NBA Street is something that I appreciate in terms of IP, and kind of like an ode to NBA Street a little bit. It's not a day one for me. I'm gonna say that this one is discount. I would love to see more gameplay, and I think there's a beta out. I have not had a chance to try it out, but assuming that this is good and it's good quality, this could be in my lineup of recurring games that I probably play just casually. I have just as a side note, NBA Live, or what are some of the more NBA games that still Undertake 2 that comes out pretty much every year? I've played those
2K.
like NBA 2K 25. I think they started adding like these like open world like environments, which I hate. And there's a ton of ads in them. So I stopped. I haven't played NBA 2K since NBA 2K24. And I enjoyed like going through the little campaign that they would have and going through those modes and having those kind of games in my recurrent lineup to just play casually. I would gravitate towards this as a replacement to 2K.
Okay. And what about you, Billion?
Um, I kind of have to agree with Shellz on not having like, or the movement is a little bit stiff, but the game reminds me so much of NBA Jams, not so much NBA Street, but more NBA Jams type of game. Really, the game looks good, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I want to say day one, but maybe that's something that I'll get on discount. Personally, the game looks good. I love the 3v3, like the actions of when you used to swipe the ball in NBA Jam. It has like that fast hand fire swiping action. When you're shooting the ball's on fire. When you're hot, when you drop like 3 shots in a row. Personally, the game looks good. I think I'm gonna get it. If the game is $20 day one, I'm copping for sure. For sure. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, most games don't come out around those prices. So personally, I don't see it being more than a $30 game. If it's more than that, I'll wait for a discount. But at $30, I'll definitely cop day one. The game looked good to me.
All right, yeah. And I will say for me, I initially thought it looked a little stiff, but looking it over again, I do agree. It does remind me of NBA Jam. It's really, the movement looks exactly the same, and like the defense is like pushing, I believe. So it's really similar. I think I might be spoiled with the newer games. And like the new, just how it flows, but taking a step back and appreciating NBA Jam for what it was and looking at it in that lens, it doesn't look as stiff anymore that I look at it. All right, so the next game, Hell Let Loose, Vietnam. This is set to drop June 18th. What do you all think? Day one, discount, or dead? Billion?
Hell Let Loose can stay in hell. That bit dead. That bit dead.
All right, what about you, Hacker?
I think this one is kind of interesting. We talked about Modern Warfare 4, Modern Warfare 4 earlier, and how they're introducing, uh, like new storytelling and new environments, like with the South Korea, North Korea sort of war. Obviously, from a historical perspective, Vietnam is one of those. The Vietnam War was an interesting thing. I'd be interested to see where they take the conflict and how they do storytelling. I don't know. Is this a PC game only? Um, it's not. Okay, yeah. So this one is coming out on all platforms. I would be very curious to see where they take the game. Naturally, it's a first person. It's a first person shooter. So I'm probably not picking this up. Never. So, but I don't also want to say dead. I'd be interested in where they take the story. Um, I feel like that might be enjoyable, but I also don't want to say discount. So I guess if I had to pick, I'd say dead, just because it, I, I'm interested in the story, but it's an FPS, so
Man,
not something that I'm likely to pick up. It's dead.
Say it with confidence. Say it's dead. Just say it's
Oh
gone.
yeah, it's dead. It's dead.
All right, and what about you, Shellz?
Looks cool. Graphics look smooth. But I'm gonna be honest, man. It's dead in the water for me, man.
Dead. All right, Caveman.
Yeah, I think Billion had it right. This game is gonna burn up in hell. Yeah, it's dead.
All right, now looking forward to Hell Let Loose. To hell with Hell Let Loose, apparently.
Exactly.
All right. So let's go ahead and get to the final segment. So, as you all know, state of play. I'm tripping. Pause here. I'm trying to remember. Summer. Damn, tripping. Okay, so as you all know, Summer's Game Fest is coming soon. A lot of things, I believe, or a lot of news, a lot of games, that we're expecting news from. So obviously we have the PlayStation State of Play June 2nd, Summer Games Fest June 5th through the 8th, and the Xbox Game Showcase June 5th. So a lot of news and just things coming out as far as the gaming space. With new games as well as games that we've known in the past, maybe new games, or maybe older games with newer releases or just expansions. So we're talking things like Gears of War, E-Day maybe, Fable. We also have, or we've heard of the Monster Hunters Wild expansion and Control Resonant. So with everything going on and the PlayStation State of Play, Summer Games Fest, and the Xbox Games Showcase, what are you all looking forward to in the upcoming events? Any games, news from any one of these events that you are looking forward to?
Man,
Let's
listen,
talk about it.
listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. The games I'm looking forward to. I'm not gonna be that long, guys, but I do have a list. So, I want to see what Wolverine is looking like. I'm hoping that they show it at the PlayStation State of Play, so we can actually see some gameplay and get an actual official release date on that. And I hope they stick to the release date too, because I believe they did say that it was coming out in between, I think, August or September. So we should be getting some gameplay on that. Secondly, I'm looking forward to, hopefully they drop a Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer, another trailer, and hopefully let's hope and pray that this time it's actually coming out on November 19th for sure. I got two more games. Another game that I would like to see um at State of Play or Summer's Games Fest is Tides of Annihilation, which I think is a fire game. It's looking incredible. Kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy 16 a little bit. And another one that I'm looking forward to seeing is they announced it, I want to say the ending of last year in December, and it was supposed to release in March of this year, but they canceled it. Is it's pretty much a remake. It's like a remake of Dynasty Warriors 3. So if we could get some gameplay and some news and trailers on that, I'll be happy. Got some more games in mind, but I'm gonna let y'all boys go ahead and say what y'all hope to see.
All right. Anyone else? How do you guys feel about Shell's games? And is there anything else that maybe Shell's didn't cover that you're looking forward to?
I'm gonna
Um,
agree with
go
Shells
ahead.
and say I'm looking forward to Wolverine. That's probably one of the bigger games that I want to see for sure. Outside of that, I wouldn't necessarily say I have anything in mind or that I care for outside of GTA. I don't think that they're going to drop a GTA trailer during this event because Grand Theft Auto, they just too big to like drop a trailer at somebody else's event. They're definitely going to end up dropping the trailer on their own time where there's no other attention drawn to another uh, platform, another like place. They want all of the attention. I think that's how Rockstar rocks out. Um,
Yeah, they're definitely
but
dropping it on YouTube, and then they're gonna keep it moving and break the internet.
yeah, facts. Like I don't see them doing that at like Summer Games Fest. Other than that, I don't really have anything else that I really care so much about to see. I just want to see what's new with the indie games developers because I know there's an indie game section that's coming up. All of the big studios or the so-called AAA studios, they haven't really been doing that good the last couple of years. They've been dropping a lot of doo-doo. So I don't think we care too much about that. So I want to see what's new. Like what are people doing that's new in the industry? Who's dropping new games on Unreal Engine 6? I know Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game is supposed to drop on Unreal Engine 6. So maybe we see a trailer for that or something like that. So that's what I'm looking forward to, man.
All right.
Yeah,
Right. Take it away, Caveman.
yeah. For me, for me, the couple things that I'm looking forward to, it happened to all be Sony because Sony's just got them hits. I mean, we all have said Wolverine. That's definitely up there. Um, I would say one of the other ones that I'm really looking forward to is Naughty Dog's. I can't remember the name of it. It's got a horrible name, but I'm very interested in the game. The
It's
Intergalactic.
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet.
Yeah, that one.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
I forgot about that one.
Who?
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's gonna be a banger in my opinion. I
yeah.
have a lot
Into
of
what?
Intergalactic,
The
the
Heretic
Heretic
Prophet.
Prophet. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, something
The
like that.
Heretic. Okay, let me check this out.
Yeah, anything Naughty Dog, I am very much interested in, and I know that they are working on that game, and I highly doubt they'll do anything right this moment. But I think they're gonna come out with another Uncharted game because we haven't seen one of those in a while. So that's what I'm hoping for is that. And one other game that I would really, really, really love to see that I don't know if they're gonna do it, but I would love to see another Horizon game. You guys have played Horizon Zero Dawn or any of those?
Yeah, yeah. I played Horizon.
I
Yeah,
have the
Horizon,
game, but I never played it. Crazy.
bro, you crazy. Um, that I hope they come out or they say something about a new one. Oh, and the last one is we already know the trilogy of the Final Fantasy VII remake. I hope they actually release some details. We see something
Yes,
about it.
yes,
That's the next one that I'm very much excited for.
yes. I'm
Hmm.
right there with you.
Yeah,
I
I
could.
would, I would have to say, so I'm gonna agree with Caveman, but just to note, the primary PC gamer here is only interested in console based games. I just want to point that out from Sony, and considering that Sony is reneging on their PC ports, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at you sideways,
Hey, listen,
but
I got a PS5. I use it. I just
but
not as much.
but things I'm excited for, obviously Gears of War E Day. They're making they're circling back to, like this is basically a prequel. I'm excited for that. I did not play Gears of War. I think they recently re-released or did a remake of Gears of War 3, I want to say. I didn't play that. I'm going to spend my dollars on Gears of War E Day. It's basically opportunity to see what happened before E Day happened, and I'm kind of excited about that. Marvel's Wolverine, which everybody talked about, something that is, I think, is well beloved that everybody did not mention, is going to be Fable. I'm very excited for this one. And it's funny that I'm so excited for this one because I did not play the original Fable games, but based on what I've seen and I am understanding, in terms of their lore and the storytelling and what you're able to do in the game, this actually looks like a pretty fun game that's right up my alley. Obviously, we like Billion said, GTA 6 would be nice. Not probably not going to happen. Um, and Caveman mentioned it, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. I'm also very excited for that. As a quick side note, Uncharted, if you want to play something like Uncharted, and I think Caveman picked it up, and I'm enjoying it right now, is 007 First Light. Very Uncharted like, gives the same vibes. Storytelling is basically like a movie. I would enjoy that. And The Witcher 4. We talked about Unreal Engine 6. We talked about UE6 and what games can essentially leverage the technology. I think that The Witcher 4 is my one of my top ones. And if we're thinking in terms of the along the lines of JRPGs, Persona, I have Persona 5. I am enjoying that as well. And I would like to see a Playtale. Playtale is kind of one of those those third person story games. It's very small, very niche. It's got good gameplay, new gameplay mechanics that are introduced that most people aren't probably really attuned to in terms of traditional gameplay that they might be experiencing. And I think a Plague Tale making a return and bringing something new would be kind of nice. And naturally, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is another big one, but those would be the ones that I'd be interested in.
It's a pretty good list. But I just realized I forgot one game, God of War. I hope something new is cooking up with God of War.
Yeah, yeah,
That would be nice. That would be
That would
essential.
be amazing.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be critical.
yeah, yeah. I would say so too, man. I I have a big list. Trust me. I'm still there's still some games that Final Fantasy is definitely at the top though. The Final Fantasy VII remake, the third installment. I'm hoping we have something on that, just like Caveman said, because I'm itching for that.
Why are we looking forward to a remake?
No,
What?
No,
Tragic.
it's
no. This is not a remake. This is
it's a
a
remake of an expansion, like the third part. Is that correct? You guys on
this is a
Final Fantasy?
reimagining.
It's the
That's what this
same
is.
game.
I like the
no,
No, it is
framing there,
no,
not.
caveman. I like the framing.
No, it is
it's
the
not
same
the
game.
same game, bro.
No, it is not.
It's the same game. Final Fantasy VII. That's when Cloud was introduced, right?
Same characters, very similar story, but there's a lot of things that have changed.
Yeah,
Revamped, yeah.
Sound like
So
the same game to me,
it
fam.
is a
bro.
reimagining. It is not a remake.
First of all, the first original game, the way how it plays is totally different. It's turn based. This is not turn based, fam.
That's
Yeah,
cool,
yeah, yeah.
but it's still the same story. So, like for the
No, it
most
is
part,
not.
No, it's not, bro.
That's what we're trying to tell you. They made some very unique changes to it.
well, let's
So
see.
for the most part, yes, a lot of it will seem familiar, but there are definitely some changes.
Trash.
Billy, how about Billy? How about you play the first two that's out right now? You'll know for yourself it's not the same game.
Oh,
Yeah.
son, I don't care about no reimagine, remake, new games. New, y'all want to make a new Final Fantasy? Make a new one. Stop with the remake stuff, bro.
They
I'm
probably
cool.
will have another Final Fantasy coming out.
They
Yeah,
might
I hope so.
they
yeah.
might, but
You actually
You know,
that might be the
you know what I do want to see, even though it hasn't been mentioned and it's been in the works for like the last like 6 years and no real release date is Kingdom Hearts. I want to see another
bro.
Kingdom
I was
Hearts.
about to say the same thing.
Yeah, like
I
that's
was
what I want
about
to
to
see.
say the same thing.
I want to see a new Kingdom Hearts. Bring back in some Final Fantasy characters from Kingdom Hearts because the last Kingdom Hearts didn't have really much Final Fantasy characters with Kingdom Hearts 3. But I want to see Kingdom Hearts 4 come out. It's been about almost 10 years since
Too long. Too
uh,
long.
Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. What is it, like 8 years or something like that? That Kingdom Hearts 3 came out.
I think it
So I
came
want to
out
see a
in
part 4. I want to see an expansion on the story. There was so many things that happened in part 3 that they could create a new story in as far as like what was his name? Roxas in part 3.
Mm-hmm.
He was technically in a dream. So you can have Sora waking up and actually being in a different place now. You know, there is a couple of concepts that have been out since then, but that's what I want to see. I don't want to see another remake, reimagining of any other game. I want to see a new game. I want to see new gameplay. I want to see new stories, and that's where I'm at with that.
So it looks like there's just to kind of like point out what's changed in between the original that came out in 97 is like they've made changes to the actual script. Obviously gameplay is completely different like Shellz mentioned. But and it looks like there's like very core divergent things that happens in the story. Like there's certain characters that die, but in the remake or the rebirth, they basically like save those characters and things like that. Um, so it looks like the story splits, which would be, I guess, why Caveman would say it is more of a reimagining of what the original '97 Final Fantasy
there's
Rebirth
there's stuff that happens in these games that never.
happened. Yeah, it looks like yep.
Yeah, everything is just there's just more to it. So I don't think that this is a remake. It's a reimagining.
Would you guys say in terms of like a creative vision, it gave the writers an opportunity to kind of take the storyline somewhere that it might not have gone with the original storyline, or
Yeah, but I also think they have to draw a very fine line because if they change it up too much, they're gonna piss people off.
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
I think what they're doing right now is they're walking that line perfectly, in my opinion. Right? There's a lot of familiarity, and there are some changes, and that's what's really interesting about seeing it. Obviously, the gameplay and everything, all that stuff is good. I'm not questioning that, but from a story perspective, they're walking that fine line, and I think they're doing it very well.
Yeah, I agree 1000%. Because if they change it up too much, it's over with. And a lot of people hold that game very dear to their hearts. So they have to be very, very careful.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Like, I just realized that I did not say Control Resonant. In terms of what they expect at Summer Games Fest, Control Resonant. I played the original Control. I actually really enjoyed that game, and I'd be interested to see what they are doing with Control Resonant. Um, I, One gripe, I guess, is I'm not too sure that I'm a big fan of like the New York City sort of like upside down world that they introduced. I kind of wish that the world design was a little bit more different and more interesting. I don't know necessarily what I was expecting, but I'm still very much interested in Control Resonant. Probably not at the top of my list in terms of what I would probably pick up. There's some things that I hope to see at Summer Games Fest, that are just higher on my list. But Control Resonant is it's not at the bottom, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely looks interesting. I saw some video on that too and gameplay. I will say it does look interesting. For me, the world building of the map did look interesting. It kind of gave me like a feel of the older God of War.
Nice.
Just a hack and slash with some exploration and the element of what looks like the map will be shifting and moving, and one second you're on the street and you walk up a wall and the world shifts and now you're standing, just upright
Right,
on a
right, right.
wall. So
Yeah.
it looks interesting. It might be overwhelming, once we're actually playing it and things are
Yeah.
just shifting, your feet shifting under you. It
Yeah.
might get overwhelming, but initially I thought, okay, that's a pretty cool concept. Um, that I think I might want to check it out, and I'm interested in seeing more about. But yeah, that's one thing I did want to talk about was Control Resonant.
I don't know if anybody else mentioned this, but like I think maybe Caveman mentioned it. I said you said God of War, and I think there was that original announcement of the God of War releasing and them coming back and essentially doing a remake of some of the original God of Wars and bringing back the original God of War guy. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but yeah, I would love to see what they do with the story too, where they would take that, and if Uncharted does have another new release, I would be very interested in terms of where they take that story. Does it continue with like an older Nathan Drake, or are we going down to like his daughter, being the next sort of like in line in terms of that adventure? So that'd be kind
If
of
they
interesting.
did, if they did do another one, they can't get rid of Nathan. It would have to be a
Would he
prequel,
would he
something
have to
like
be like the
that.
primary character? Oh, okay, I
Oh,
see. Okay, okay.
he has to be the main character. Like you can't just get rid of him. He
Yeah, I mean,
is.
it'd be interesting to see how writers do it, man. Like, in terms of bringing Nathan Drake back, because like I said, he's getting older now, and we've seen kind of instances where, like, he has a daughter, and like, where would they take it next? So,
There is one game that I doubt that they'll show it, but if they do, and that'll probably be The Last of Us Part 3. So
We're not. Listen, I was gonna say that, but I don't think we're going to get that right now. I think in a couple years, maybe. Right now,
yeah,
they're working on the heretic one. So they had previously mentioned that they stopped developing the multiplayer for like the Last of Us factions, so that they can focus on the. I think it was Last of Us Part Two at the time. I feel like that same sentiment is going to go here. They're working on one game. They're not going to be working on too many things at once. They want to focus on making a good game and then get it out there and then get to the next game.
oh yeah,
If we
for
do
sure.
hear anything about the part 3, it'll probably be another year or two before we hear anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just you never know. You never know. It might
You're
be.
right. You
You
do
never know.
not know, and it would be amazing if they did, but I just don't see it happening.
I will say I am fully prepared for the level of trauma that The Last of Us is willing to uh, incur on me, especially when they do crazy stuff like murder Joel within like the first hour of the game. Like that kind of trauma is the kind of abuse, if any, that I like to have. And the storytelling is wild, dude. Like, it's just like jaw on the ground. I like the way that they do storytelling, and they definitely keep you on your toes. So if they have another one that is popping up at Summer Games Fest, I'm here for it, dude. Like, those guys they know what they're doing.
I'll be
And if they're
calling
in
all
the
day.
and if they're in the kitchen cooking, let them.
Yo, I do want to add, man. So anybody that's listening to the podcast right now, I want to say there's a big chance that we might be streaming on our YouTube page, Summer Games Fest. We'll be dropping some commentary and just streaming what's going on for some of the segments during Summer Games Fest. I can't say we're streaming every day because it is like a week long, and we do have lives. I touch grass at least. I don't know about the rest of these guys.
Yo.
But if you head out to our YouTube page at the official EndGame Broadcast, you can catch us online, join the chat, leave some comments, let us know what you think about the segments that we're going to be live streaming on. Who knows, we might even get into some gameplay or something afterwards. There's no telling, but definitely check out the channel, man, and check in with us during the Summer Games Fest.
And just to add to that point is on I think June 7th we'll potentially be live streaming and having some live reaction to things happening on at Summer Games Fest.
For sure, I'll definitely be there. So I don't know who else is going to be there. Hacker, I think, is going to be there June 2nd for sure. I'll be in the chat. You know me, I'm gonna be live. You heard, but check in with us, man.
All right, for sure. All right, so I think we can close it out here. This has been a great episode, guys. A lot of good conversations, productive, passionate, emotional conversations, and interesting. But with that said, I think it made a good episode. We'll close it out here. If you're listening, we appreciate you lasting this long. If you appreciate or like the conversation, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also hype the video again so we can move on up in the algorithm like the Jeffersons. But we'll catch you on the next episode. We appreciate you checking in. This has been the broadcast. Catch you on the next episode. Take it easy.